80% of people that get into real estate, even if they do deals and make money, disappear within 10 years. They do some deals, they make some money, but eventually for one reason or another, they burn out and vanish. Here is how to be in the 20% that make this a career and survive not just a decade or two, but 3, but make this their life journey to build and compound wealth in real estate. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ruud-Johnson. I've done a couple hundred real estate deals since 2016 when I started my real estate journey, and I've gone on to found several companies that have gotten to the 7-figure level. I currently employ over 100 people around the world, and all my time goes to real estate and talking to people in the real estate world. I'm going to start this video to prove my point that most people burn out by story. In 2017, after my first, I would say 10 real estate deals, I invested a large sum of money to go and fly to Scottsdale from Seattle from my office in Renton, spend time with 50 really good, badass real estate entrepreneurs for a weekend that were actively doing deals, guys and gals. And we spent the whole weekend together, and that was an ongoing mastermind. And fast forward now to 2025, heading into 2026, what I can tell you is maybe 3 or 4 out of those 50 people that were actively doing deals that I got to know, both guys and gals, are still in business. And they were making money and doing well. A lot of that is from distraction. Some of that is from strategy, business partner issues, personal life issues. But that is the reality of this business. It chews people up and spits them out. So even if you're 3 years in watching this video and you're making money, if you don't build systems, if you don't build a foundation, if you don't plan to make this a career, you will probably be part of the crowd that fizzles out. And that is what this video is for today, is to help you not join those people and how to make sure you're in the 20% of pros that make this a career. I want to be very honest with you right now. Doing deals and making money does not mean you have a business. If you don't have accurate KPIs, if you don't have good systems, if you don't have good processes, if you don't have good people, and if you are not what I call a level 3 entrepreneur, you don't have a business. And Cole, what is a level 3 entrepreneur? Well, level 3 entrepreneur is they've passed level 1. Level 1 is you're self-employed and making money. But if you close your laptop for a day or a week, that money stops coming in. Level 2 entrepreneur is you're making money. You have maybe a couple team members, and you can shut your laptop for a week or 2, maybe 3 weeks without things imploding. Level 3 entrepreneur, you can shut your laptop really as long as you want and have your company not just thrive, but grow. And if you do not get there through systems, processes, and people, you probably will join the crowd that eventually burns out, where you'll be the 60-year-old agent or investor still having to chase their next deal to put food on the table. And you do not want to be in that spot. Deals give dopamine, but systems, processes, and people, while boring, give you stability, predictability, scalability, and a long-term time horizon in this business. And if you meet anyone who's made a substantial amount of wealth in real estate, they've done it because they own a real estate business. They have a business doing deals rather than them doing deals themselves, because the money is good, but the brain damage is real. And most people eventually burn out in one way or another. Addiction, divorce, bankruptcy, death. I've seen it all. It happens every single day to people, even though they're making money in this business. So my framework for staying in business and the real estate business and being part of the 20% that lasts longer than a decade and make real wealth is just 3 things I want you to remember if you're watching this video. Number 1 is you reinvest into systems and skills, not lifestyle. And there's 2 quotes, kind of stories I like. One of them is a recent quote that I heard that I love, which is your lifestyle is your competitor's moat or edge. The money you take out of your business for your lifestyle is your competitor's edge, because that money's not going back into the compound. And I'm a big believer in the profit first model, making money. But a lot of people do what the second part of the story is, what one of my business partners told me early on when I was really young, which is if you turn on the faucet too fast, you'll massively slow down your career. And so really good operators that make it, that don't burn out, even if they make really good money years 4 and 5, they play on a long-term time horizon, they compound that money, and they fund their business growth just as much as they do the lifestyle. A lot of the guys that I know that burnt out, they were buying Bentleys and other cars earlier in their career. They were spending money in the clubs every single weekend. And I was taking money from my business too, but not to that degree, not to that level. And I want you guys to really think and spend time on the fact that your lifestyle is your competitor's edge. And that's not to say don't make money from your business. That's what we're all here for, is to make profit. But don't let it slow down the compounding of your business if you want to be in this for a decade or longer. The second thing to do is you have to build community around you. It's a lonely game. Real estate business operation is a lonely game. You're going to look like a weirdo to your friends and family. A lot of people that I know that fail, even if they're making money, they end up burning out because they don't have community. They feel lonely. They feel afraid. They're going home and drinking themselves numb every night because they're so stressed. You have to get around other real estate weirdos who are obsessing over business and real estate like you are to make it long term. For some people, that's a business partner, though I don't recommend that. For a lot of people, what's their local meetups? It can be online content. Like I build community, I go golfing with guys through just having an online presence. It's super important that you guys think through that. How do you build community beyond yourself and your family so you feel a little less crazy? Because a lot of people, they don't make it in this just because they feel crazy. And the people around them, they are crazy. And the stress is real. The anxiety is real. You will lose money. Things will go awry. So you need to have community. And it doesn't have to break the bank, but you need community and people around you when times get hard, like they do for everyone, to survive those periods. So those are the first two. Reinvesting into skills and systems as much as you do lifestyle. And number two is community and people to support you and push you in the right direction. I've had really good mentors and community for myself over my whole career that have helped push me in the right direction constantly. And then number three is focus. That's the third reason I have seen most people not make it a decade or longer. They're jumping from wholesaling to flipping to Section 8 to Airbnb to e-commerce to Forex to Bitcoin to NFTs within 5 years. And it's kind of the entrepreneurial curse where you get golden object syndrome and everything looks like you can do it. And maybe you can. The 3 or 4 or 5 people I know out of those 50, and that story is so powerful, that are still in business are doing the same thing they were a decade ago. The flippers are flipping. Maybe they build some houses now, but the majority of what they do is flipping. I was an off-market deal guy. I'm still an off-market deal guy 10 years later, and I'm still in business. Some of them are still wholesaling. They were wholesalers 10 years ago. They're still wholesaling. That is how you win. That's how you stay in business, is focus. One of my favorite sayings, if you followed my content for a while, you've heard me say it, is that most people in real estate don't fail because of work ethic, or they're stupid, or they're not intelligent enough. They fail because there's too many ways to succeed and they can't stick to something for long enough. And every time you start something over, you reset that clock again. So the first 5 years are not even about making money. They're about learning lessons and paying tuition. So number three is stay focused and play the long game. I promise you, as your friends pivot, as the people you came into this business with pivot, start chasing other things, it looks shiny. It looks great on social media. They look like they're getting ahead of you. Keep your head down, stay focused. The same problems you have to solve in your current business where you're already making money are the same problems you'll have to solve in any business model. Going external is virtually never the solution in business, I promise you. So those are the 3 levers to pull if you want to join the 20% that make this a career and last long term. Number 1 is you need to fund business and systems and people and processes and learning as much as you do lifestyle. Number 2 is you need community and support and mentors. Otherwise, it's just going to get too lonely and too hard. And number 3 is you have to stay focused on a long time horizon and be able to say no while your peers go other directions. My peers have gone to NFTs and put themselves in bad spot and screwed people over, whether intentional or unintentional. They started e-commerce stores and the list goes on. Do not be that person. Do those 3 things and you have a great chance of making it a decade or longer. Treat this like a career and it'll pay you like a career. Treat it seriously and it'll pay you seriously. Treat it like a business and it'll pay you like a business. If you don't take it seriously and you treat it like an amateur, it'll pay you like an amateur. The choice is simple. I'll put it to you like this. Fade out, even if you're making great money like 80% of people do with time, or build the skills, systems, and strategy that can keep you in this business forever, no matter what market cycle we're in or what's happening externally. If you're not in the off-market method, it's one of the top communities for agents and investors around the country who are trying to do more deals, scale, and build a real business. And it's a great place to get the community that you need. From live events in places like Park City to weekly live calls to a classroom journey, accountability groups, and much more, it's an amazing way to build the foundation that can scale and sustain, which you can check out below this video. Also, if you want to work with my team directly and have us hold your hand through the 3 big pillars you hear me talk about of real estate: leads, conversion, and operations, check out Easy Button Real Estate or hit the link below. Last but not least, as you guys know, as I always sign out, and I truly believe, whether you're chasing your 100th deal or your first deal, you are only one deal away.